Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I'm really going to make quite a few individuals with some emphasis on women upset. Okay? And I know I'm going to hear it in the Acupuncture is My Life app. Tons of complaints, but I'm ready for it. And by the way, if you don't already have the app, download it. It's free. You can communicate with acupuncturists here at Acupuncture is My Life. You can read up on certain blogs that discuss how you can benefit from acupuncture if you suffer from various types of disorders, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. You can access the Acupuncture is My Life platform, social media platforms, via the app as well. But today's episode, I'm going to get into a discussion on why certain people should never drink wine. And I know many individuals, they've complained in the past via the Acupuncture is My Life app that they need wine to sort of wind down and, go to sleep. Now, if you depend on drinking a glass of wine to fall asleep, that's a sign of a sleep disorder that you may be suffering from. And it's best you see an acupuncturist right away. Because acupuncture is great at addressing sleep disorders. Now, the average adult, and I would sort of try and keep it in the Western Hemisphere for the most part, tends to drink in excess of 3 gallons of wine each year. That's not good. It's not good at all. Replace the wine with tea, and it'll change your life. If you're struggling with sleep or whatever, and you're depending on wine, again, see an acupuncturist. But there are certain individuals who should not touch wine at all. And first and foremost are individuals with diabetes. I'm going to start there. Individuals with diabetes should not drink wine. And I'll say this. Wine can have a pronounced effect on a person's blood sugar, with emphasis on if they're drinking wine on an empty stomach. I'm not even going to dare to say, if you're diabetic, be careful when drinking wine. Just, you shouldn't be drinking wine. Okay? You have to be very, very careful because of what it has the ability to do to your blood sugar. Now, if you've listened, let's say, to past Acupuncture is My Life podcasts, you should have a basic understanding of the importance of the middle jiao, which consists of the spleen and stomach. And there are several individuals that have messaged Acupuncture's My Life via the app, stating the spleen has the function of, recycling red blood cells, blah, blah, blah. And I've stated in a few episodes that to an acupuncturist, the spleen expresses similar functions to that of the pancreas. So sort of, as I've stated in the past, just keep that in the back of your head, because the spleen and stomach are super important. And an acupuncturist understands its importance, and these two organs representing the middle jiao, and very important for production of blood and qi after birth. And you see, drinking wine can hinder the function of both the spleen and stomach, which is your middle jiao, and an acupuncturist understands that. And we understand that it can impair this digestive function or digestive functions, leading to food stagnation, the generation of internal heat. And because heat has the ability to dry or create internal dryness, it'll therefore injure a person's yin and the fluids, and start expressing in signs of and symptoms of diabetes that accompany diabetics. And you see, there's more to learn. Once you sit with an acupuncturist, there's so much you will learn. And so I say, see a physician annually, your annual checkups, and make regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist. Another group of people who should not be drinking wine are those that are on, let's say, painkillers or sedatives. Now, if you're taking painkillers, you need to put it down and see an acupuncturist right away. Because there's a slew of problems that come with taking painkillers, and the potential for becoming addicted, and much more. But if you're taking, let's say, a painkiller or some type of sedative medication, drinking wine it's not good. That combination just doesn't work well. You see, sedatives or painkillers, they tend to be depressants. And these depressants tend to slow down brain activity. And so does alcohol. So the combination is not a good one. If you're experiencing chronic pain, you need to get to an acupuncturist right away. It'll change your life. Also, individuals that are taking medications to treat chronic alcoholism, you don't want to be drinking wine. And if you're addicted to alcohol, I've expressed this in many podcasts in the past, see an acupuncturist, because there's a special protocol to treat that treats addiction, whether it's to alcohol or recreational drugs or even prescribed medications. Because disulfiram is a form of medication that's used to treat chronic alcoholism. And there can be serious side effects if you're on this medication and you're drinking wine. you can experience, let's say, serious headaches, vomiting, nausea, weakness, change in heart rate, change in breathing pattern if you're taking this medication and drinking wine. So if you're on medications to treat chronic alcoholism, don't touch wine. See an acupuncturist right away. Because the NADA protocol is great for treating addiction to alcohol as well as recreational drugs. Because you have to understand something. As an acupuncturist, I understand that health is wealth. The wealth isn't in an app on your phone. It's not in a mutual fund. It's not in the bank. It's not in a safe. It's not in your pocket. The wealth is not in your purse. It's not under your mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet. It's not under the doghouse in the backyard. The wealth is in you. That's where the wealth is. And you understand this because this is why you listen to Acupuncture's My Life podcast. But you know, another group of people who shouldn't touch wine are individuals with asthma. Because drinking wine can make an individual with asthma more susceptible to an attack. Asthmatics can have an adverse reaction to wine due to the sulfite that's in the wine. And if you're sensitive to that, then voila. And you see, an acupuncturist understands that, you know, if you're an individual with asthma, drinking wine can influence triggering latent phlegm in a person's lungs. And this phlegm is usually the primary cause of asthma, because it serves as a result from, let's say, the failure of the lung to distribute and disseminate fluids adequately. Or it can even create the failure of the spleen to transform and transport fluids throughout the body. You see, and triggering the formation of phlegm, it can accumulate and exist in the lungs. And it can, any type of trigger, let's say the weather, stress, exertion, can cause this latent phlegm to impair the dispersion and dissension of lung qi, which will manifest itself in the form of wheezing, chest congestion, productive cough, breathlessness. You see, sitting with an acupuncturist, they'll explain this to you. Because I know some of you are like, what? See an acupuncturist. You see, it's all about health, because living in good health, seeing a physician annually, regular wellness visits with an acupuncturist, you'll notice a difference mentally, spiritually, as well as physically. Simply put, make acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?